Hi, I thought I'd let you in on my little shop vac that I built. I've been looking in the internet for quite a while to see if I could find how to make these things. And I understand that the angle of the top of the cone of this shop vac has to be 15 degrees. So when you look at a corner of a sheet, if you take a 90-degree cut straight out of a corner, you'll find that when you fold it together, it'll be almost 15 degrees. So if you want the bottom diameter to be 4-inch, which is the inlet is 4-inch, so if the bottom diameter wants to be 4-inch, here all you've got to do is measure an arc 4 inches around, and that'll be the bottom outlet of the dust. The height of it, then you only have to do is measure down there from where your intake is, and that's the height, which is the measurement up there. This one here, I'm using a Bosch garden vac, and with the Bosch garden vac, we're actually looking at 2,200 watts. I was hoping for 2,400 because the vanes in here use a lot of power to run, but then to swirl the air through the cone takes a lot more power, so you actually need a good 2,400 watts to make it run. This one's 2,200 and it runs fine. There's tons of grunt. It'll pick up anything. The only thing it won't pick up is these shavings that come off the lathe. The smaller shavings that come off the lathe, that's all steel shavings in there. There's heaps of it. Now, I cut the top of the lid out with a nibbler, and just around the top of that lid you'll see a piece of foam that I've glued onto there. And when the lid sits back on it, it sucks down onto the foam and causes sealing. This one here, I pinched the shop vac off my wife, so she can still use it. I haven't wrecked it yet. So there's the mount, and it's a 4-inch hole in the center as well. The whole thing uses 4 inches. I'll give you a demo. I've got a little bit of dirt over there, just a shovel full of dirt. I'll give you a demo how well it sucks up. And that was basically the very, very smallest of particles will come out there. Really light rubber gloves, that neoprene gloves, they get flung out there. It's supposed to be a mulcher vacuum and leaf blower, so a few bits and pieces coming out the top don't hurt, but I mean, out of all that sort of stuff and out of fine stuff, nothing seems to come out. And I've also made another attachment. Oh, here it is. This is just to do my car with. just a vacuum cleaner lead, and that fits in there, and that just does the car. Hella strong, nice vacuum cleaner to do the car. This is just 4-inch exhaust tube. You have a decent sweep around the outside to get it swirling, and the intake is just down under there a bit further, down to about there is where the intake comes. It's about to there. So that would be, the intake's probably about 4 inches down from the top of it. But after looking on the net out of all the people's shop vacs they've built, that's my interpretation of it, and I'm bloody happy. It sucks up all this rubbish on the lathe, all that oil and stuff. It'll just pick it up straight away, no worries at all. Any nuts and bolts that are lying on the floor, it won't pick up these little nuts and bolts. That's what I shook out of the hose before I started, before I picked up that dirt. If any bolts do get up into there, they rattle around in that tin can for about 30 seconds before they drop through the bottom. So it's very easy to build. Just remember the piece you cut out is a 90 degree. The bottom piece, the length of that arc makes your diameter, and from the arc up to the side here is the height. Now this one here, I'll measure that for you. I think I made it 400. Yeah, that's 400 I made that one. And that tends to be enough grunt to get that swirling heaps, and no problems at all. It'll work very well. Be very lucky if 1% came out the air intake, and that's only very, very light plasticky stuff that'll come out. Well, I'll post this up and I'll see what you reckon. I'll see you again next time.